before buying land in Cameroon, there is one thing that you have to understand. Not every land is for sale. And if you buy the wrong land, it can cost you everything. So today I'm going to be talking about the main three types of lands that we have here in Cameroon. Now, the first one is state land. So state land is government land, which is reserved for public use or national development. So we have things like school lands, we have hospitals, we have roads, we have stadium, and public infrastructure, okay, which are lands. These are lands that belong to the government. So you have to understand that state lands are not for sale. So anyone that is trying to sell you sell to you a state land, that transaction is illegal. All right, you cannot privately own a state land. You cannot convert it by agreement. So anyone who wants to sell you or who tells you otherwise is simply ignorant or maybe dishonest with you. So under state land, we also have what we call state property or government property. Okay, these are already lands that have been developed by the government, right? They have already been developed by the government. Things like we have administrative buildings, we have public schools, we have government housing. All right, so these are already government properties that, which the government have already officially registered to its name. So the second type of lands we have in Cameroon are native lands. So native lands are managed by village heads or family lineages or community councils. These are the people that manage village lands. Now, before any land becomes a private land, it was first of all a native land. And now the native lands are actually transferable, though the process is very sensitive, which means you have to follow due procedure. I mean, you have to follow the due process before it becomes safe to you to own a native land now as a private or an individual land. Now, the process of transferring native lands to individual lands is risky if you don't follow the right procedure or you don't carry out the right documentations. Now, if you don't carry out the right documentations, you're going to have chances of having land disputes in the future, which is actually one of the source of land problems in Cameroon. Now, the third type of land is private land. Now, private land is land that has gone through the legal process of registration and it has a land certificate. Now, this land can belong to an individual or an entity, and it is legally recognized. It is also transferable, and it is also saleable. Now, private lands are the most safest lands to buy, right? Provided the land certificate or the land documents are properly verified. Now, even if there is a land certificate, you still have to carry out proper verification to verify the authenticity of that land certificate and the boundary accuracy of that particular land, which is something you use where you check with the site plan. So one thing that you are going to take away from this video is that government lands are not saleable, and native lands, they are only transferable if under extreme caution, and private lands which are safe to buy, but only if the documents are properly verified. At Blackstone Construction, we don't just build houses, we also help our clients to buy their lands, especially those who are in the diaspora. They usually give us a go ahead to look for lands at good areas, and then we buy it for them. Now, we also help you to do due diligence and the proper verifications of your land so that you don't buy a land and then in the future you start having disputes over it, which is very important. Okay, so before you buy a land, make sure that you carry out all these processes and you verify everything. So if you're buying land without verification, what you're simply doing is you're gambling, which can affect the future of your structure or of that particular land.